I'm not going to start the recording because I don't have that video button, so somebody has it. Probably Brian. I think Brian. Yeah.
You're all set.
All right. Perfect. Let's see. Let me know if you can see my screen. We're good. All right. Perfect. And then a little bit later on, I'll take my headphones out because just to demo the sound, and sometimes the sound doesn't go through on the iPad and the headphones when you try and do too much. So hello, everyone. Welcome to OneCon session today. Today, we're going to be looking at Apple Clips. Apple Clips is an awesome app. It's an app that allows users to quickly create masterpieces by adding video, images, subtitles, special effects, music, and much more. And the great thing about Apple Clips is really that literally everyone can create using clips. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just going to share a little presentation that I have here, not because we're going to be digging into this too much, but a lot of times people think, hey, you know what, how could I use this in my classroom? And so here's just a couple of very basic ideas, and then also linked on this slide, which I'll throw into the chat a little bit later on, is the clip support. Apple Clip support guide, and it is a really, really extensive, just like everything you ever wanted to know about clips, kind of breakdown of things. So a couple of ways when you're thinking about, hey, how could I use this in my classroom? What would be an advantage of this? Think about, like, in this virtual space, like how could you use it to explain a topic? Maybe kids are having problems understanding something that you're teaching about. So maybe a little video kind of tutorial or introduction to a topic. You could use clips to give feedback, right? So if your students submit a document via Blackboard or Google Classroom, you could take a snap of that assignment or whatever they've turned in, and you could drop it into clips and give them feedback over the top of it. You could use clips to explain steps in a process. So, hey guys, this is what we're going to be working on, and I would like to take you step by step through the process of what you're going to be creating. One of my favorite ways that you can use clips is you can allow students to show what they know. This really opens up that creative kind of place for them. If you give them that space and that permission to go and create and capture and show what they know and demonstrate in multiple ways, you would be amazed at the types of things that you can get from your students. And really, and this one is also my favorite, that's why I saved it for last, you can really use clips to do anything that you want, because it's one of those apps that no matter what the content, no matter what the learning objective, there's a way to incorporate it. So that's all I wanted to kind of talk about and touch with the presentation. I do just want to show you this link real quick because it's really very, even though there's a lot of information and the depth is very great. The information is really easy to understand. It's their whole entire clip support page. So really, essentially anything you're wanting to look at and know in terms of using clips, you can come in here. There's little videos and tutorials already made. You can ask individual questions. You can search for more topics on clips, but it's a really great page to come. And when I first started playing around with clips, I think it's been out for maybe 2 years now. That's where I went to learn everything there is to know about clips. So anything you really want to know, you've got the ability to do so. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to now get into clips. So I'm going to minimize the screen here, and I do have my iPad docked to my main screen here. So hopefully what you'll see here is you'll be able to see my screen, and you'll be able to see the process in terms of creating and using clips. All right, so the first steps, if you want to use clips for our students, what's really great about clips? Well, it's already in our ecosystem. It's approved and it's there waiting. Any student, K all the way through 12, can go to self-service and download the app. I already have the app downloaded on my iPad. It is the app right here. So it's Clips. It's a white square with a circle and a video camera in the middle. The main difference between Clips and iMovie, Clips just has the ability to customize things, I think, a little bit more than iMovie does. There are a lot of cool filters, images, emojis. It really brings that kind of social media aspect to video creation. And I think that's one of the reasons why our kids really have taken to creating in Clips, much more so than creating in iMovie. Of course, iMovie is always something that you can go back to create. I sometimes use them in conjunction with each other. It just depends on what you're creating and what the purpose of that creation is and what you want to include. So we're going to jump into Clips. I have to remind myself that I'm not manipulating on my Mac right now. I'm manipulating on my iPad. So I'm holding my iPad here. So if you see me looking in a weird place, it's because I'm not looking at my screen. I'm looking at my iPad. So I'm going to jump into clips. And when I open clips up, you're going to get the ability to create a new project or go into an existing project. I don't have any projects here because I cleared them all out. So I'm just going to say create new, and there it is. Essentially, it's a video app. I'm going to turn the camera so that it's not on me. There we go. It'll be on my computer screen. So you don't have to look at my forehead the whole time, so you can look at my screen, and that will be less dizzying, maybe. But anyway, some of the basic features that you've got here is, let's see, what would be the best place? Let me actually just put a picture here, and then I don't have to worry about looking at my screen or my face. So what we have the ability to do here is you have the ability to camera live, right? So you can take pictures. You have the ability to go and grab any photo from your photo library, and this is a photo or a video. You can see some of my topics for pictures, images here. I have some videos from the One conference, and I'll throw those in after a while. I'll show you some cool things you can do with that. Some tutorial stuff. There's my virtual office. This is when I went on an Angles field trip for one of my fourth grade classes. And then, yeah, one of my favorite topics, my dog, Finn. So he'll be, guest starring later on. Then a parade from Rose Glen. So I've got a lot of different things here and some bit emojis. I'm going to show you how you might use those in a little bit too. So you have the full library here. And then you've also got the posters. And really what the posters are is they are animated kind of like title screens. So you can animate the text on most of them. Some of them, a couple of them, I think like the Star Wars ones, some of those Star Wars ones you aren't able to edit fully. Some of the Mickey and Disney ones as well. But all the other ones, you really have that full ability to kind of customize and make it your own. So when you come in, one of the basic things here, and again, I'm just going to throw a picture here. So if you want to record, one of the basic things that you need to do is you need to get used to that pink button here. So your pink button is your record button. If you record something or if you want it added to your video, you have to press the pink button. If you don't press the pink button, it's not going to record anything. So that's one of the best things to know when you start off with clips. So what I can do is if I want to add this into my timeline, because right now my timeline's not even showing up because I haven't added anything. So if I wanted to add this into my timeline, I simply press the pink button and it's recording into my timeline. So now if I press play, there's the start of my video. Pretty basic. If I wanted to start off with some sort of poster introducing things, so let's see what we've got here, something fun. I can come in here and scroll through, and I like this. This is a hot one. So it takes a second to download before you can insert it into your video, but the same thing like images or live shots, you do have the ability to take a look at it and see what it's like before you actually put it in your timeline by pressing that pink record button. So just letting it download here. Looks like we've got a couple seconds left, and then I'll show you how you can insert that and edit it. So I don't want my title to be "This is hot," so I'm going to click on that and edit it out, and this is going to be clips. All right. And I also have the ability, which is really cool in here, if you have the littles, you can use the voice typing and it will work the same way. So this is now going to be my title slide. I'm going to record it to add it into my timeline. Notice how it's animated and I don't have to do any of that work. It makes it pretty for me. I want that to be the first thing that people see when they come into my video. So I'm just going to pick it up and I'm going to move it. And so now I can adjust my timeline. So now what I've got is clips. And then it's going to go right into the next slide that I've got created there. If I want to continue editing, I can do that. So the other thing that I want to show you here real quickly is your effects, right? So I have the ability here one more time to come in. I can add from my camera. I can add from the library. I can add videos or images, whatever I have in my library, and I can add from the animated posters. But what I also have the ability to do is on any one of the images that I add into the timeline, I have the ability to come in and use the effects button. So again, if I'm on my clip, there it is, and I can press the effects button. So now I have the ability to add in text over the top. This is all editable. So maybe I don't want to say this is it. I'm so excited. All right, and I have the ability to do that there. I can resize it. I'll put it over here. It goes nice against the dark hair there. I can add stickers in here. So a lot of these are animated. If I wanted to have a call out somewhere, I can add that in right on top of the picture. And then I have the full emoji keyboard as well. So if you're thinking you'd like your students to be able to come in and maybe do some storytelling using emojis, they can build screens or images with the emoji keyboard as well. So now that I've added the things that I want, what I have the ability to do now is to record over the top of this. So I'm going to press on here. I'm going to all right, and now I can come back in and play, and there is are the kind of features that I've added to it. The next thing that I want to show you here is I'm going to pull in another picture from my library. So I'll pull in this sunshine one because it's pretty basic. But I have the ability to add text into any of the images or videos that I'm using by using the live titles feature. The live titles feature is located right here. It's that little kind of chat bubble that pops up. So here is where I can come in and I can say, you know what, I want text to appear on this slide. What do I want it to look like? All right, so I might say, you know what, I really love this kind of font here, and I want it to come in and I want to record over the top of it. So now I've selected where that text is going to appear on my screen. And what's really cool is when I come back out here, when I press the pink record button, I have the ability to come in. I'm move this off. There we go. So I have the ability to come in, and when I press record, it's going to copy what I have here. So here we go. Welcome to this tutorial on using Apple Clips. Today we're going to learn about how you can create cool and easy videos in a couple of clicks. Hopefully you enjoy the learning. All right, so now when I come to this slide and press play, it's going to grab all of that for me. You are not hearing it because I have my headphones in, so I'll take my headphones out and hopefully you'll hear the audio. But what it's done is it's got my voice on it right now, and that text is coming across the screen. Okay, so I'm going to undock my headphones and see if you'll hear it then. Now go. You can hear my dog snoring. Well, that's good. All right, I do not think that you're able to hear my text. Brian, Wendy, can you hear it at all?
No, I cannot.
So that's one frustrating thing when you are trying to demo something and docking your iPad. For some reason, the audio does not come through. But what you have the ability to do here is you've got the ability to speak, and it records your audio. But in this case, I might not want it to hear my voice. I might want it to hear my voice, but I have the ability to press on that piece of text, and I can turn the mute on. And so what it's going to do is it's going to mute my voice, and so just the writing will show up. So however you want to be able to use that feature, you have the ability to do that. All right. So a couple of the other things that we'll get into in just a minute. We have the ability here, and this is an update. So if you're not seeing some of these options when you open Clips on your iPad, they did just have an update. So you'd want to go back to either the App Store or self-service if you'd want to download that update. But what you have the ability to do is you can trim clips now. So if you recorded something and you say, oh, you know what, I only like the first part of that, I want to take that off. You have the ability to trim clips right there. So I have the ability to make it longer. I have the ability to make it shorter, which is really a great feature because it didn't used to be there and you had a hard time. You'd have to refilm the whole clip. One of the other things that you can do is you're able to split a clip. So if you said, you know what, I like both of these clips, but I want to put like a title in between them, you have the ability to come in here now and pick where you want to split the clip. So now you've got 2 clips in your timeline versus 1. Some of the other cool things that you have the ability to do, and this is one thing that's in effects, but that I didn't demo yet because I want to demo it with a live video. So I've got some things that I've added here to my timeline. So far, I've got my title page here, and then I've used some of those emojis to come in and some of those kind of cool point outs. And on this screen, I've got that text feature that's going on. If you could hear, it would be kind of sharing my audio, but there's no audio on it right now. So those are some of the cool things you can do just with images. So all of that, I just use images from my iPad. But like I was saying before, you have the ability to drop in video, and I will pick on myself here first, right? And I'll put in my dancing video from the One conference. I don't want text on my video here. I'm going to turn the text off. Okay. I have the ability to kind of move it around, resize it, whatever I want. And I might say, you know what? I don't like that green screen behind it. What are my other options? So if I go into that star, I have a button called filters. And here's a really cool option that you have, and you can kind of turn it into whatever you kind of want it to look like. So if you are saying, you know what, I want that image there, but I do not want it to like be that real image of me, I want to soften it a little bit, I can come in here and grab any of these filters, which are really kind of fun and cool. So I'm just going to grab I think I like the ink feature here. So let's see what it does. Okay, yep, I'm going to hit the X. And again, it's not going to be in my timeline until I hit that record button. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just hit the record button. And there we go. These are my best dancing moves. So for anybody who doesn't know me, this is how I dance. Probably do not want to go out and do that anywhere in public. But this was for fun. So I added that to my timeline. So now I've got it here and I can say, okay, I'm going to play. Yep, I want some pieces of this, but I don't want all of this. So I'm going to hit that done button and then I'm going to click on here and I am going to trim my clip. So I took a clip that I really liked and it was filmed in front of a green screen. I used the filter to take some of that background out. And now I'm just trimming that clip to make it kind of what I want. And I can do this with a series of clips. So I'm going to go ahead and press done. And then I'm going to go to my library and I'm going to grab another one. So again, I've got that background. It automatically grabs the filter that I used on the last video. I don't have to keep it the same filter, but for this case, I'm going to. I'm going to just zoom it in a little bit to get rid of some of that background. And then I'm going to record this piece again. Another person who was super happy to be at the One conference and be learning and using some of our tech tools that we had demoed in the library. All right, just so you know, this won her a really cool set of 3D doodlers, so that's awesome. But again, I have the ability to say, you know what, I'm only going to use a portion of this. I don't want all 10 seconds of it. I just really like that clapping part. It makes me happy. And I can click trim. All right, that's what I want. And it trimmed that clip right for me. So I have the ability to come in here. I can move these around. I can split it up. But really kind of a neat way that you can incorporate videos that you've got on your camera, also stills, and how you can kind of weave some of those things together to really get the effect of the video that you want. So these were kind of just highlighting some of those fun features. You might be thinking, well, how would I actually, like, how would I make this into something that's academic or educational? I'm just going to take you through a quick sample of something that you could do on a topic. It is a random picture that I found on the internet, so bear with me because I don't know a ton about the topic that I'm going to talk about, but it was a picture and I saved it to my iPad, so that's kind of something that I'm going to show you how to do. All right, so I'm going to click done. I can, by the way, add in music here. I'll try to add it in, but like I said, the audio does not always play nicely when I'm docking from my iPad. So if you've got your own music account in iTunes, you can use my music. I don't. So I just use the soundtracks, and I would say like the soundtracks in here are super robust. That's one of the other really cool features of clips, because you get a ton of really nice soundtracks, and you have lots of different length. If you scroll through, you have different categories and themes that you can look to download by. You do, again, have to download, so I'm not going to hit everyone because that'll slow us really down, but I'll just grab this evergreen one, and you do have to click. Yeah, I'm not going to download all, just that one. It's not playing, but if it were playing, you'd be able to hear the sound behind it. And like I said, a lot of times that music helps really bring home the message and the theme of whatever kind of a video you're creating. So students have found a lot of success being able to incorporate that music into their creation. So it's a really great feature. I wish you could hear it, because then it would make that dancing even better. Yeah, so don't forget about the music feature, and that's up in the corner there. So, all right, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take you through a very quick learning project here on spiders, right? So I'm going to hit done here, and I don't want to add to this project because this is just my demo project, but I'm going to go back to my home page, and I'm going to start create new. All right, so I'm going to start with a poster. And I don't need anything fancy, so I'm just gonna use this check this out one. All right, I'm gonna edit the text. So as the teacher, I am creating this video for my students. It could be a video that a student creates, but today that's just gonna be my viewpoint as a teacher. So welcome to Tuesdays in nature. All right, so there's my title, not apostrophe S, so there we go, apply. So welcome to Tuesdays in Nature. I am going to record this. All right, so it's a very basic title. There aren't any animations in there. If I wanted something fancier, I could definitely go there and get something fancier. Next thing that I'm going to do is I am going to actually record myself. So let's flip this. Come on. There we go. Alrighty. Best angle here. Hi kids, I'm excited to share with you today what I found learning in nature. Today we are going to learn about, I'm going to stop there. Okay, so there's my clip. And the next thing that I'm going to do is introduce the topic that I've got, right? So what I want to do is go to my library, and I am going to scroll to the bottom here and choose this topic. One cool thing that I want to show you is when you choose an image, you can resize it and move it around. So Kristen, for this next kind of, yes.
Take a hold for just a second. Your iPad's frozen up on us.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, no, now it's caught up. We got the spider.
Okay, all right, so here's the spider, and what's nice on the spider is you have the ability to zoom in and slow pan, okay? Or what you can do is you can come in and you are able to kind of just do like a slow walk. You can do a double tap on the screen with your finger and it'll zoom in 2 times. And if you double tap in the middle of your screen, it zooms out real quick. So you kind of have some of the ability here to kind of tweak how you want your shots to look, which is kind of a really cool feature, because in iMovie, you've got the Ken Burns effect. That effect's not here, but by using the 2-finger scroll on your screen, you have the ability to do that. You might be thinking, well, how do you hold that camera button down, the record button down, and also zoom at the same time? And the answer is you don't have to. When you're ready to record, if you come in here and you say, okay, I want to record this for a duration of time, you don't have to keep your finger on the button. You can simply tap on the record button and slide up. And so then it will be a continuous record. And when you're done talking, you're able to come in here and you're able to press the stop, and then you can edit your clip. So I'm going to delete that because I don't want that in my video that I'm creating for my students. So here was that last screen. And now I kind of want to do something where it's going to like give that shock factor for my students. So I'm going to use the spider picture. I'm zooming in. And here's going to be my audio. Spiders. All right. So bear with me here. My voice is maybe not super fun this morning. But so when I play my whole video, here's what I've got. Oh, never mind. Sorry, you can't hear it. But what I'm using here is I'm introducing that with my face, and then here's that zoom factor. So if you could hear what it says, as the teacher, I'm introducing that topic. I can come in here in the next slide that I want to add in is another picture. And the first thing that I'm going to talk about is the spider's legs. So in this shot, I'm going to adjust it just a little bit, sliding it over because I want to focus on the legs. So I might actually zoom in or zoom out, and I'm not recording right now, so I'm just kind of positioning it where I want it on the screen. Then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to use those effects. So I kind of like, what do I want? I wanted the spider to look scary, so maybe this aged kind of film look would be good. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to use my text feature, and I will say right here, not breaking news, but anatomy. All right. And when I'm done typing that, I can pick it up and move it around. Might leave it there because the white on white's not really easy to see. And then I'm also going to use some of those stickers like I did before. There's the arrow. And because, like I said, I'm talking about the legs, I want to point right to the leg. And I'm going to add in here one more text box. And I'm going to write spiders have 8 legs. All right, so I'm done writing that, and I can come here and I'm going to tap on the screen to be able to move it around. Notice how I'm kind of resizing it. There's the call out. I haven't added this to my timeline yet, so to do that, I need to hit the X and press that record button. There we go. Spiders have 8 legs. Okay. So I didn't add the text onto the screen because I didn't want the text to show up on the screen. But what I did do is I added in those callouts and I added those text features to the image that I'm showing, which can help me as the teacher or the student identify that I actually know the parts of a spider. So I'm going to come back here and play the whole clip again. So just real easily in about 2 minutes, I've created this introduction video, and I could keep adding pieces onto this video for my students, and they would have the ability to come in and watch it as many times as they want. All right, so then we went into this one page, and there are the spiders. Spiders have 8 legs. All right. One other thing, and I'm going to add in one more clip here, just because you're not going to be able to hear it again because it's an audio feature, but if we come in here and we add in another photo from the library, I will add in this one, right? And again, it took that same filter. If I want it to be normal, I can say, come in here and use the original. That's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to turn my live titles on. So I don't want it coming across the text that I've already got. So I can just choose one of the other features and I can say where I want it to come on the screen. I'm just going to choose this one at the top. So then the text is going to come across the top of the screen while I speak it. So what I'm going to do, and this is really kind of neat for you to know for when you're working with your students, is sometimes when you're recording, the text-to-speech feature doesn't pick up exactly what you want it to pick up. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to be able to edit that text, and you can do that really pretty easily. So I'm just going to record a sample here. I can't wait to see what you learn about spiders on your adventure. All right, so I can look at that. Okay. And now if I press play, the text will start coming across the screen. I'm going to press pause. As soon as that text is on the screen, If I tap on it, now I have the ability to have a full editor right here in the screen. So if anything didn't come across the screen the way that I wanted it to, I can come into this part here and edit it. As I said before, you also have the ability for your littles who maybe don't have those typing skills to use the audio typing, which is really pretty significant for them because they have ideas in their brains and they want to be able to communicate it, but sometimes typing isn't the best avenue for them. And so if they just use their microphone on their iPad, they're able to add in text without having to know how the words are spelled or how the words come together. So a really nice feature there. And you also have the ability to change the languages as well if you wanted to. So that's how you can come in and you can edit that text. Again, I don't have to have myself on the screen reading it. I can if I want to, but I don't have to. One of the other really great things about Clips is that you have the ability to record your voice, but we have a lot of students, for one reason or another, who don't feel comfortable having themselves on screen. And so by using an image of something else, or by using a poster, or by using whatever kind of placeholder they have there, whether it's a picture of their assignment or whatnot, they have the ability to record it and speak with their voice without having to show their face. So that's kind of something that our students really do well with in terms of using Clips, because they have that little bit of a safety net where, okay, I don't have to record my whole self. That's fine. I'm comfortable using my emoji, but not really my actual live face. So it's just kind of a cool feature for our students that kind of have that resistance to being on screen. So that's one of the other things there. The last thing that I wanted to kind of show you or talk to you about is that emoji thing. I don't know about you, but I've been seeing in every one of my elementary rooms, especially, teachers have been creating these emoji classrooms and using emojis of themselves that look kind of similar. I think I did a pretty good job creating mine. I mean, it's not like identical, but it's all right. But what you can do is you have the ability, if you've got this app on your iPad, you can go to Bitmoji, and any of the Bitmojis that you've got, okay, anything that shows up, you have the ability to either copy it or save it to your camera roll. So I'm just going to show you both ways here. I like this one, you the best. I can copy it, or if I tap on it, I can save it as an image. So when I go back to my Clips, right, so if I just press and hold here, it's going to give me the ability to paste. And now I'm pasting that in. But I also could have went and, let's just add that to our timeline. I also could have went just to the library and got it from there as well and posted it in. So if you're a person who really likes to use those emojis, whether it's with your Google Classroom or if it's in assignments, or if you've created like a full emoji classroom using Google Slides, you have the ability to drop that into the Clips too. So even if you as the teacher don't really love recording yourself on the screen, you can still create a tutorial video for your students using your emojis and your voice, and they'll get the same type of message. The last thing that you have got here is you have the ability to share it easily. So you have options here. You can share right to Google Classroom if you're using that. I could share this video right to Teams, which is super cool because then I can create it here and shoot it right to the Teams that I wanted to go to. You can save it, and this is the route that most of our students take, but you can save the video just right to your iPad. And then what we usually have them do is we have them upload it to Google Drive, and that way they get a link and they are able to turn that link in. Whether you use Google Classroom to collect your assignments or you use like a Google Form as a collection tool, you have that ability here. So it's very easy for our students to be able to save that video and then get it up to Google Drive in a couple of clicks. I am going to pause there, stop talking, and see, do we have any questions? Anything hanging out? Or Brian and Wendy, any features that you think I didn't touch on that you think would be a good show here?
You've got a pretty quiet group there today, Kristen.
Right.
It's just Did you guys live?
One of the things that I always think is important when you're in clips is to know that you have to be in portrait mode when you video record, which seems a little different than we're used to.
Yes.
But know that you're doing that when you're recording so that your picture doesn't come in sideways.
So even if I turn my iPad landscape, it does not rotate it. So that's kind of what Wendy was saying there. It is portrait mode only. You can't get it to turn. So
And we've used clips quite a bit in our dual language classrooms and have found that the language for the live titles is pretty darn accurate. So even in the Spanish, it picks up what students are doing and is a pretty good indicator for your live titles.
So if you want to change the language, I don't think I actually should. I said that you could do it, but I didn't show you where. So in live titles, if you want to change the language, you come into live titles and you just hit that little globe. And here's where you have the ability to change the language and that translate to use that translate feature.
One thing I would add, it's a fun little feature is, so when you hit your export on that bottom right, maybe you can hit that. Yeah, it's that export project. So much of what we do is saving the video, but the ability to export the project means you can really set up a neat template. You know, that's what I just love that feature to it.
Kristen, can it be shared in a lot of different areas, like through social media and YouTube?
Well, interestingly enough, one of the really cool things when they first came out with it, one of the awesome things that I loved about it is you could export it, you could drop it right to YouTube. But then Apple and YouTube kind of had this little breakup kind of thing where they took that button away. So if you want to put it to YouTube, you really do have to go right from you have to save it to your camera roll and then go to YouTube. Or you'd have to save it to Drive and then publish it to YouTube. So you used to be able to go right to social media from the share button, but that's not there anymore. And I think it has to do with privacy issues and kids publishing things for the public. If Brian and Wendy, do you want to add anything else to that? In the research,
that's accurate. It was a lawsuit with YouTube that really caused that breakup.
Mm.
Yeah, but you are able to just take it. Like I said, if you upload it to Google Drive, you do get that link there, and then you can easily take that link and put it out to YouTube, or you have the ability to, like I said, save the hard copy. So if I airdropped it, I could airdrop it to my Mac. And then I have that video file, and then I can really easily put it out to YouTube as well.
And it embeds nicely in a lot of other places.
Nancy, anything else that we can help you with as far as
I'm
clips?
definitely going to use this. I'm going to show this to my daughter too. Kristen, thank you so much. You're always so eloquent.
Oh, thanks. Hey, Nancy, if you guys have iPhones at your house, one other piece that's not available on the iPad, which I don't know why, because when I was looking up the research, they had said, like, if you had the newest iPads, which we do, that it should be a feature, but it's called Scenes, and it's really awesome because it allows you, like, if I'm like just doing a video of myself, it allows me to drop myself into a scene, like almost like a green screen. But it's not available even with the update on the iPad. But if you've got iPhones, if you're an iPhone family, that's something that's really cool too.
That's amazing.
Just a super easy way with a few clicks. If you've got your, what I've seen students do a lot of photo stories, they do their research, they put their stories in like order, pictures in order that they're going to use to tell the research, and then they have their pictures, they record over the top of it, and that's how they share out their learning on a specific topic or through research. So just a really quick and easy tool that is really low stakes. Once you learn the ins and outs of that red button or pink button is always your record feature. And then the kids really, like, all they need to know is, okay, what are the big 5 things they need to know about this app? And if you let them kind of explore, you'd be amazed with different things that they create just by like, oh, I tried this, or I got this kind of a shot. It's really quite awesome.
Yeah, the possibilities of the speech to text, that's really amazing.
Definitely. So, Brian and Wendy, do you have anything else to add?
No, I think you did a really nice job taking us through it. Thanks, Kristen.
All right.
Very
So
well covered.
we can end the recording here if nobody else has any questions, because those were really the things that I wanted to share. And I really do hope that you know, if people come in and grab this later, this is one of those tools where you're thinking like, gosh, I just need a tool that can do X, Y, and Z. And this is really one of those tools where if you have an idea in your brain about like what you're trying to create, this is one of those tools that is so customizable that you can really make it work with anything.
Mhm.